In this video, we'll see how we can count the number of vowels in a string. So we have some input string and we need to count the number of vowels. Okay, so this is the problem. So here there is only one sample input is there, and this is the output. For this input we have a string, big string, hello FewSteps, this one, and we have to count how many vowels are there. So here if we check carefully, there is one here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 vowels are there. So using a Java program we need to find this thing. So here what we need to do, we have to initialize one string. So we can initialize the whole string inside it, and then we can use a counter to count the number of vowels, and we can also initialize the vowels like a, e, i, o, u, something like that. And then finally we can check whether each position this letter is vowel or not. If not, then we'll continue, and if there is vowel, then we'll add the counter. So let's see how we can do this thing. I'm going to jump the IDE, and here I'm going to create on Java file or Java class, new, then class, and suppose the name of the class is count vowel. Like this. And then I'm going to add a main method here, and then I'm going to run this. I'm going to click this finish button to close this window, and it will give us this type of program. So right now there is nothing, and I already removed the comment. Now we have some input, right? So at first we need to define the input. Suppose the input is hello FewSteps. So this is the string, and I'm going to assign this input as a string. So we can use the string variable, string data type, string string and data type. This is data type, and I'm going to name it as like input, because this is an input. I'm just going to type it like this, input. So we have the input. Now we need to find out how many vowels are there. So to count, we definitely need on counter. So I'm going to define on integer counter, integer count, and initialize it with 0. That means when we will start, the counter will be 0. If it find any value, then it will be incremented. And now we also need to define what are the vowels are there. So I'm going to type another string vowels, and we need to define what are the vowels. So we know a, e, i, o, u, right? So I'm going to type the vowels like a, e, i, o, u, like this way. So here I'm going to type a, e, i, o, u. So these are the vowels, right? But here I typed only the small letters. There is capital letters also for vowel. So I'm going to type also a, e, i, o, u. So this 5, 5, 10 are the vowels, right? Now we need to compare each position, whether this this letter is inside this or this vowels or not, like this way. So I'm going to use one for variable and not for loop. So I'm going to use for, and here I am going to initialize from where to where. So at first I'm going to define integer I equal to 0, and then till how many times it will like continue. So I'm going to like put the condition over here, input dot, and this is the input, and if we use the length function, then it can easily find how many times this loop will continue. And then finally we need to increment the loop like this, and finally we need to assign the block. So inside this block we have to check like each position whether there is vowel or not, and if it is there, then we can increment the counter. So we can make a if block, and here we will check, and if it is true, then we will use the count positive plus plus. We can mention that the counter value will be increased. Now here we need to put the condition. Okay, so we can easily check the index of this thing, right, for each of the case. So we can use vowels, VOW, vowels dot index, index, not indent, index of Okay, now we need to find out the index of each character, right? Like 1 0 1 2 3 4, like this way we have to count, check. So we can do one thing. So inside this input, we can call the input input dot, we can check each position, like character at, and here what we need to do, this is the variable, right? We are passing this thing, and here we can check whether this is true or false, like this way. We can put an exclamation mark equal, like -1, so it will compare whether this is true or false, like this way. So here I need to remove this part. Okay, now it's fine. So like this, and finally we can print how many vowels are there. So we can use outside the for block, we can create the system.out.println sys, and here I'm going to use this method, system.out.println method, and here I'm going to print the counter. So we can type a variable like number of vowels, like very short way, and then we can print this string, not a string, this number, right, count, and I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to run it. So to run, I'm going to press this small triangle, green triangle, something like that, and here it is showing 4, right? So definitely there is 4 vowels are there, 1 2 3 4, right? E O W E. So now it is able to print this thing, and that's it. In this way we can easily find the total number of vowels from a given string or odd.